Hey everybody. So welcome to tonight's class. This is Wednesday, March 25th. And what I want to go through first is the game plan for tonight. So just like last night, we are not going to use Google Hangout. We are going to use this YouTube video. I'm going to explain everything for tonight so you can pause it. You can rewind it if you need to hear something again. And we're also going to read a story tonight. I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to encourage you to read it by yourself, independently. And I would suggest reading it out loud just so you can hear yourself pronounce the words. There'll also be the same assignment that was due last class, and the assignment, oops, sorry about that. The assignment looks like that, where you have three choices as far as how you're going to show me your assignment. You can type it into a Google Doc and share it with me. You can type it into an email message and send it to me. And the third option is you can just write it in your notebook, and then when you're all done, take a picture of it, and then you can just email that to me. Part one is the vocabulary terms. Find 10 words that you're unfamiliar with from the story tonight regarding the NBA referee story. Number two is you're going to write one complete sentence for each word, and then please underline the word. And number three, you're going to respond to the question, what is the main idea of the story? What is the story about? Is there a lesson? What did you learn from it? And the last part is I've asked you to come up with three questions. If you can only do two or one, that's better than not doing it at all. And again, this is the example that's also posted on Google Classroom of the story that we read last week about Ron McNair. So that gives you the first part, 10 words I chose, as well as the definitions. Part two gives you the sentences using those words. Part three explains the main idea of the story in one sentence. And then part four, I chose three questions to ask Ron McNair if I could. And again, if you can only come up with one or two questions, that is fine. Okay. So it's kind of the game plan. For homework, or if you're looking for extra practice, I would recommend that you either do the same assignment for some of the other stories that we did. For example, Ron McNair is on page 134. Sol Aramendi is on page 239. John Hines' story is on page 109. And you also have access to all the online resources that were also posted last week that will really help you with your English skills, whether it's speaking, reading, writing, listening. The vocabulary.com website is a great resource to help broaden your vocabulary. We have a couple virtual websites that allow you to travel, check out some other places. There's a math website that can help you continue practice with multiplication, place values, decimals, and fractions, which is where we left off before the library was closed. And then the last option is Rosetta Stone through the library. All right. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I am going to read tonight's story to you. I recommend that you kind of follow along either with the video, or you can follow along by reading along in your book so you can see the words. I'm sure the print is much larger in your book, and this story starts on page 125. NBA referee Marat Kogut, 31, talks with his dad, Leon Kogut, 63. Growing up, I played basketball at the rec center by us, and when I was about 15, I sprained my ankle. I couldn't really run, so I asked my coach if I could referee the practice instead. I was terrible. Had no idea what I was doing, but it was a lot of fun. And so I started volunteering at games on Saturdays and Sundays. Most kids grow up dreaming that they could hit the game-winning shot of a championship. I was the one that said, I want to be a referee that blows the whistle and says the basket was successful. Being a player, sometimes you may have to sit on the bench, but I always wanted to be right in the middle of the action. And when you're a referee, you're the one controlling the game. When you told me someday you're going to be a referee, I said, yeah, sure, but it was your goal, and so it became our family goal. Then one day you came from school and said, Dad, can you give me $200 to get a course for referee? Remember? It was the first investment in your future. When I took the written exam to become a licensed referee that November, about 115 people took the test. 13 passed, and I was one of them. Most of the people were in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, but I was 16. In high school, refereeing at all these rec centers on weekends was a great way to earn some extra income, But I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it because I really loved it. I used to drive you to every game because you didn't have a driver's license at that time. Right, I only had a referee license. But you have always been supportive, no matter what I said. If I told you I wanted to be a ballet dancer, you would say, oh, good. Mom, on the other hand, was totally against it. Her main concern was to marry me off. Who's going to take a guy who's going to be a referee? Yeah, she wants to see you as a doctor, as a lawyer, But I always remember when you asked me, how many lawyers do you have in this country, Dad? I said, maybe 3, 4 million. How many doctors do we have in this country? I said, about 6, 7 million doctors. And then you asked, and how many NBA referees are there in this country? I said, I don't know. You told me. It's about 60, and I'm going to be one of them. I'm never going to forget that. You knew you were going to be there. Since that, I said to your mom, that's it. Don't bother him anymore. He's going to be an NBA referee. My first official NBA game, my partner gave me the ball, and I'm the one that got to throw it up to start the game. I was so nervous up until I finally released the ball in the air. Then all my training just clicked in. I was like, this is just another game between two teams. I'm here. I earned my spot. Let's go to work. I remember your first game in the tri-state area. Everybody came to the game. The whole family went to support you. I'm a barber, and a lot of customers from my shop went to that game also. It was a hell of a turnout, and they filled up a whole section. During the last timeout, I saw a whole bunch of them start screaming, Marat, yeah! My parents were looking at them like, wow, all those people are here for you? You have more fans than the players do. I just finished my second season, and I'm exactly where I want to be right now. I got hired at 30, and I'm planning on doing this for another 30 years. Everybody told me, your son is in the NBA? No, it's impossible. I say, yes, he is. Now all the customers in my shop, everybody asks me about you, and everybody's looking for your games to watch. Then the next day they call me up, say, oh, Leon, I saw your son. I still go to your barbershop to get haircuts. And every time there's a customer, you say, hey, this is my son. And the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, oh, your father always talks about you. Of course. I'm proud of you. That's why. I watch all the games on TV. I never miss even one game yet. If you work in the West and the game starts at 10 o'clock at night and finish 1 o'clock in the morning, Doesn't matter. I still watched to the last minute. We came to the United States from Kiev when you were 7 days old. And I choose your name, Marat, because I just have a feeling this name going to bring you lots of success. So when I see my son is in the arena and you blow the whistle there, it's incredible. The dreams come true. This was recorded in New York City, New York, on June 5th, 2011. So at this point, you can start the assignment, and I wish you good luck.